What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. So last week, I told you about this idea that I had, right? To go back. So for me, maybe he has videos older than 6 years. For me, it only went back 6 years. So I'm going to do a couple minutes of videos from 6 years ago, 5 years ago, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we'll end up with where he's at right now. We're going to see the destruction of Wes, and it all came from within. So let's get it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. Oh, this one, by the way, the time I almost lost my life in prison. I've reacted to that video. 6 years ago, 779,000 views. Even though he says he gets 1 billion views for every video, this one got a lot.
The time I fucking almost lost my entire life in a...
Entire, not partial. You know, he had a choice. See, I didn't want to make this a funny one, man, but his entire life, like, why did that word have to be in there? But I want you to look at him. He's soft-spoken. He's not flexing. He's just having a conversation.
Penitentiary. Okay, the day started off just like any other. We were in the day room, a bunch of white boys. We were hitting some dips. And this fucking halfway slow-ass motherfucker, he starts saying shit about my form with the dips. And we start getting into it. And I'm like, you really want to do this right now, my man? And he's like, yeah, what, you know? And so I say, okay, let's go in the cell, you know? And I had the block at the time. This was a 3-yard. So we end up walking over to my cell, and I'm already heated. So I screwed. The CO knows me. He knows what time it is. He usually lets us handle our business. And then.
So I just want to stop and say, for those of you that don't know, so a level 3 yard, I don't know. But level 3 yards have unlocks at certain times. And most people, if you need to get in a cell for whatever reason, and you don't want to front yourself off, you just wait for unlock. So I call bullshit on the story, at least the way he's telling it, which is not surprising because he would have just been like, okay, check this out. At unlock, let's go in the cell. It's a level 3, so they could probably get away with it. But normally, there's not going to be no fist fighting, especially in-house, like your own people. But period. But hey, let's not let truth get in the way of this hell of a lie.
So I yell out to him. I'm like, CO! And I scream it across the building. And then he comes over. He's like, what's up, dude? And I'm like, open my door. And he knew what time it was. So I pushed the dude in the cell, you know?
Yeah. So he's standing at his cell door with a guy that isn't his cellie. The only way there had to be a cop that never worked in that building because they all know. And there's a picture board so you can see who celled up with who. But the door opens. The cop obliges his direct order to the cop. Open my door. The door opens and he pushes the guy in front of the cop.
And then we just start getting busy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Couple punches were thrown, some shit happened. Long story short, this fool gets about 300 stitches that rip his fucking cheek open and fillet behind his ear to where his ear's straight flapping.
And his brains came out, but Wes caught him and pushed him back in. And then he did a Mr. Miyagi, got his hands real warm, and boom, sealed it. He sealed it.
Now the crazy part is in the pen I've seen stabbings where people leak out real quick. They squirt, you know. And then I've seen times when motherfuckers you can see the meat and the bone for a minute, and then it starts slowly coming to the surface. And it was one of these ones.
Of course.
But so the CO knew what was happening. He knew he had to come back after we got busy for a minute. So he comes back and they start spraying the shit out of us with their O2 spray in the cell.
The OC spray?
So my cell's trashed at this point. I'm already signed up. It's done. I'm going to the shoe, you know? So they cuff us up. They take us to medical. They throw us under a hot-ass shower. And when you just got sprayed and you get a hot-ass shower, that's probably the most painful sting you'll ever have in your life.
Rookie mistake. I know none of my subscribers want to go to prison. If you ever do get pepper sprayed, I'll give you a little game. let it dry on you, and then let it flake off of you. Do not get underwater where your pores are going to open up and it's going to get into your pores and burn you even more. This guy's a rookie. He got under the water, and then hot water makes it worse. But yeah, you just let it dry up and then let it flake off.
But after that, they took us to the BMU. I sat in the BMU for 3 fucking weeks, and it was the most painful
I promise he
time of my
didn't.
life.
It was the most painful. He didn't go to BMU. He went to ASU. Ad Seg unit. Administrative Segregation Unit. But I want you to pay attention to that last part. Look, this is the stuff.
BMU for 3 fucking weeks, and it was the most painful time of my life.
I don't know why it was so painful, right? It's just prison sucks, period. That's why I do these videos. That's why I tell you guys all the time that lifestyle is not it, right? But I will be honest with you. I've never met anybody who was a righteous street dude that has ever said while they were doing their time, it was the most painful thing of their life. Like the actual being in a cell. Maybe the things, the regrets you have later as you hopefully develop, some personal insight and accountability. Yeah, that. But actually but I don't get it. What he's saying. What, because he was in BMU? He wasn't in BMU. He's in ASU. BMU is different.
Every day the captain would come to my cell and say, "Hey, Watson, you seen the pictures? You're fucked. The DA is going to pick this up. And I looked you up. You got 2 strikes. You're done, bro. You're done."
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like, "Hey, man, go get some."
Clear as day. There's his housing. I don't know what facility that is. There's where he was. That is not BMU. It's ASU. BMU's after. Anyways, man. So this is 6 years ago. My point was to show this is the guy. Like when I started clowning him about 5 years ago, it was because of stories like this that were. For anybody that's been to prison, you hear it, and it's just hilarious how off it is, how wrong it is, and how much BS it is, right? This is when I started, but you see how he was. He wasn't screaming and yelling, but as we go through this video, we'll get there.
My coffee out of my property, dude. I don't believe none of this shit. But anyways, in my heart, I did believe it. I knew the pictures were bad. I saw the event. I knew what happened. And I really felt like my life was going to be taken. Because honestly,
your freedom, not your life.
Don't fucking be that kid who thinks he's going to keep getting away with shit, because they'll wash you up so quick. They washed up 10 kids within the time I finished recording. By the time I'm done recording this video, they have just washed up 10 to 15 kids. Okay,
so now here we go. So now he's got his own place. I believe he's married and living with his wife at this time. And this is when he got into the I hate t-shirts phase. Let's see how much. This is a year later. Let's see how much change. Way less views. But let's see.
First got busted and everything in my life had changed. The first thought in my mind when I would wake up was that this must not be real. This is a bad nightmare. My life hasn't gone to shit, and this isn't reality. And I've been having that feeling lately with this whole event, that the second I wake up, I'm like, was that shit real? Are we really on this crazy lockdown where the whole world has changed? Is this even real? But we have to accept that reality the quickest moment we can, so that we don't turn into a victim. When I was in AdSeg, when I first got busted in county jail.
Why were you? Oh, I only got beat up in the county jail because he wouldn't stop lying. So maybe that's why he was in there.
I used to read magazines when I first woke up, and I was really only retaining like 10% of the knowledge in the magazine. The other 90% of the reading was just distracting me from the pain, the deep pain I had inside of the reality that I'm about to go do 10 years.
You don't know how much. That's the thing. I don't understand his infatuation with 10 years. He didn't get sentenced to 10 years. I don't know what time he was looking at. But if he's in the county, he doesn't know what I get he's trying to tell a story. My point is, you see how he's turned the volume up a little bit. and this is a small thing, but something to notice. And this goes to where he is today, right? If we go back to the other clip, he was showing his whole face, right? And people would make fun of his hairline. And so you see, he started recording all of his videos where the top of his head was chopped off because he was insecure about his hairline. This is somebody who's talking about stoicism or wherever, however you say it. He's talking about being an alpha, being a male, and how, you know, like all this crazy stuff. And yet the comment section already has him chopping off part of his head from the view of the little things. Always pay attention to the little things.
Later on, once I became weathered from this task, from this fucking enduring this massive fucking life change, I was able to achieve flow state at a high level and hold it for 3 to 5 hours while retaining knowledge and actually building upon that knowledge, not just retaining it, through enhanced cognition and developing a desire to consciously increase cognition while reading. So I was developing strengths that I never even had at the beginning internally. You have to develop these strengths, and this is the time to do it. The way to develop the strength inside right now that you need, the internal ability, the fortitude needed to endure these massive life changes, is going to come from your daily process. And I've been preaching this the whole time.
So I feel like he just tried to go on a run of like the biggest words he could think of off the top of his head. That's like what I got out of that whole spiel. But Wes is in the high rise. It's in San Diego, beautiful city. He's never going to wear a shirt again. But you see, the subtle change in him, right? And as we know, it gets worse.
Every day I wake up with an issue. Every single day.
So 4 years ago, apparently, is it, you guys, I think I figured it out. His beard is evil. Look it. He's growing the beard and he's screaming. Let's go back. Look. Look it. Look it. Hold on. Just a goatee. Oh, he got crazy eyes. Look at just a goatee. Look.
Changes is going to come from your daily
Normal
process. And I've been preaching this the whole time.
Fuck yeah.
Every day I wake up with an issue. Every single day.
Okay. The first 2 years, he was dealing with internal pain, right? The internal pain motivated him to learn, to discipline himself, all that. Now look at this video. Every day he wakes up with an issue. Something happened where he decided to shift the message. He's way bigger now. I wonder why. I wonder why he's so angry. Is it because he's twice as big?
I wake up with an issue and I say, good, because that level up will always come in the form of a problem. Your growth in this life will never come packaged how you want it. It comes in the exact opposite form and must test you to the core so that you level up. The fact is, first thing in the morning, I sit there and reflect and I meditate on mortality because realistically, death destroys a man.
Well, yeah, you're dead. Let's go back. Maybe we missed something. Same mumble jumble, right? But you could see in this one, the other 2 years, as goofy as he was, look, still chopping the top of his head off, right? That mole on his back arm is going to be next because of his insecurities, right? But this is where the beginning of the Macho Man Savage character comes in. I think he's flexing, and he's just tough now. Because realistically,
death destroys a man, but the idea of death saves a motherfucker. I never did that. I never do what society forces you guys to do.
Oh yeah, we know. Right now you're finding out the hard way why we do what we're supposed to do.
I never operated from a conditional manner. There weren't the same conditions when you were in prison. I showed up every single day.
To prison? So you mean you weren't even really incarcerated? You were just showing up every day like it was a job? What the fuck you mean? Of course you showed up every day. You mean you just woke up?
To fix the moment. Fix the moment, and that fixed my life. You guys show up every day to fix your whole life. It's never gonna be any different if you don't learn to master the moment. There is bad moments in the penthouse with millions.
There is moments, or there are? How is this? It's nighttime, man. The neighbors are trying to sleep. Can you scream tomorrow?
When you're in tip-top shape, everything's going to plan. If you don't master the moment, you will have a terrible life because you don't get that life is just a series of moments.
Hold on. Did Kamala write this one? Kamala Harris wrote this one for him. Let's go back. I'm telling you guys, this is why I wanted to do this. You see the change in his body. You hear the change in his voice. You hear the change in his message. Initially, he came out and he had a character, and he was going to be the semi-evil or semi-moody superhero. And then he just decided, you know what? I'm gonna be the heel. I'm gonna be the bad guy. It's weird.
Moment, you will have a terrible life because you don't get that life is just a series of moments.
Moments. Here we go. Kamala.
Strung together in different stages of consciousness. Your stage of consciousness matters. So when you think you have a shitty life. It's not a shitty life.
It's not.
When you think you're having a bad week, a bad month. Oh, March sucks. When you think it's just a bad month, it's not a bad month.
It's not a bad
When
month.
you think it's a bad day even, it's not a bad day, it's just a bad moment. And I have the tools to get you to be able to flip every moment. This is self-mastery. Conducting yourself in a manner with a set of habits.
He has the craziest hand motions. I think his hand motions got even worse. Watch his hands. I swear he's hypnotizing us.
Conducting yourself in a manner with a set of habits that cultivates the internal state that then alters your external world and the way you view everything, your perception of everything around you.
Don't be pointing them skinny ass fingers at me. This was the beginning of the evil. Like, this was probably around the time he lost his marriage too. It's the beard.
I've had horrible days up here. It was my choice. It was my choice to fall victim to negative events. Circumstances are going to arise. The way you deal with them is the problem. In all reality, the most positive thing you could ever do is find the silver lining to a negative circumstance, a negative situation. If you can find the silver lining in a negative situation, that is the most positive of all events. What's your goals, Wes? What's the future hold?
Okay. I believe he's in Miami. This is when he won his Emmy. His Emmy's in the corner. I think this is when he pretty much lost, or if he had any reality left in his mind, it was about to leave.
I don't even go that far. I don't even do that. In the penitentiary, you learn to live moment by moment, day by day. So I don't sit here and construct some vision based on expectations. I know what my current trajectory can produce. Cars, house, financial success, but that's not what I'm worried about.
He mentioned all the things that became the most important things to him and says they mean nothing at this point for him
House,
or to him.
financial success, but that's not what I'm worried about. Because I'll do the work. I'll do the work. The only thing that's going to keep me from getting that exact vision to come into fruition is if I'm a good man or not.
I pause on that one. The only thing that's going to interfere, I don't know what the hell, I barely listen to him, is whether he's a good man or not. I agree with that. And we got the answer, right? We got his answer. It's bad. And I wish there was a video where we could just really, really pinpoint where he completely lost it. And as you see, look, this is 2 years ago. So if we remember, 6 years ago, we had 700 and something thousand views. 2 years ago, to go from that to 16,000, he had lost so many people. So many people had started to see, like, wait a minute, I don't think this is really real. And it wasn't.
If I'm not a good man, I will not have the success. If I am, then I will be gifted the clarity to be able to work at the level that I am capable of. You guys don't have the clarity because you don't live by the universal truths. You don't live by the universal laws. You think you can continually break character, break program, and still get your fucking result. In the penitentiary, we don't have true monetary success. People got some money, and they think they're balling because other people aren't balling, but you don't have houses and cars. And
some people in there do. You know that.
You're not validated by your possessions like fucking this shit. It doesn't even fucking matter. I still don't validate with that. I can show you guys that because of my daily habits and who I've been for so long, I was able to fuck off what you guys call success.
These little quotes. He loves quotes. Somebody should do a book on Wes Watson quotes. I think it would sell because it's so hilarious. And somebody should mail it to him. Let's go back 10 seconds.
You guys that because of my daily habits and who I've been for so long, I was able to fuck off what you guys call success. But what I've called success the whole fucking time was the fact that I never fucking tapped. I never gave in. There's no words that need to be said. So many people talk so much. And then they see someone like me talking, so they're like, well, man, you're an awfully mouthy motherfucker, Wes. I was speaking well after I had been that man that I knew would be successful for a decade on end.
No, I don't know what do you guys think it is with a decade, 10-year period? Down to 10,000 views. The last one was 17,000, down to 10,000. In a year. It took a year for him to get to.
I never broke my word to myself for a fucking decade before I started speaking. It was like 12 years before I started speaking on camera that I didn't break my word to myself one fucking time. Do you guys get that that's the prerequisite to success? You do not, as a man, break your fucking word to yourself. And then all you simply have to do is formulate a vision.
Ripped, rich, and rare. Ripped, rich, and rare was your word to yourself. Your word to your friends that were paying to be your friend. Your word to your clients. Ripped, rich, and rare. And then when you got your heart broke, you decided, you know what? Let's go to the club. I don't know, you had a lot of substances in the car. But yeah, your word to yourself is very important.
So you have this vision of what life can be. You learn to not be a bitch and break your word to yourself. Then you have to just learn each little part of what your vision consists of. So the physical part, you get someone who knows nutrition and training. You don't break your fucking word yourself. And you study from the top people. The spiritual part, you learn from a top individual who can guide you towards the right universal laws, the right core beliefs and values that are aligned with your beliefs.
And then here we go. That was a year. That was the year ago, right? And look at today. Daddy Wells broke the story. It took Wes on that last video a year to get 10,000 views. It took Daddy Wells 5 hours to get 11,000. And being a content creator, I know within those 5 hours, that 11 was probably more like 20 in that time. But this is where he is now. Look at his eyes. Look at, let's go back. Look at his face here. It's a little full. He got ruddy cheeks. I think that's what they call it. Right? He doesn't have all kinds of quack tattoos all over his face. Look at this. Looks like a fucking maniac. Let's go. There's other content creators. Unfortunately, this is what happened to this dude. John Bravo. 212,000 views in one day. Look at Wes. Let me pause it. Look at Wes. Look at the look on his face. I mean, I get it, man. If you're an ex-convict, if you live that type of lifestyle where, you know, you unfortunately went to prison due to your poor decision making, when they put the cuffs on you, as horrible as it has to feel, that thing is going to click. You're going to get back into that mode. But I just feel like what he's busted for, what he's alleged to have done to that young lady, I feel like his chin's a little bit too high. I know there's a lot of ex-cons that be like, fuck that, you don't bow your head for nothing. But you know what? Those ex-cons that say that, you wouldn't be busted for what he's busted for. So I say he should have his head down. He shouldn't be standing there arrogant. But what do I know? JD Delay, look at this. Horrible, man. It's horrible. Gunner's Click. That's his first wife. That's his mugshot again. Insane looking. But if we remember, his first wife, she said that according to her, he used to beat her. According to her, he used to laugh at people that believed what he said in his videos because he wasn't really living by it. $10.90 Jake. I mean, he's all over the place, man. He's all over. He has become a hot topic, you know. Of course, when something's a hot topic, we report on it. You know, we do our content on it. This dude, I honestly believe, you know, there's people that say, I'm from Florida and you know, or I've worked in, they're cops or whatever over there. This guy's going to get, I saw one today, they said they're going to run everything concurrent. And he's only going to do about 5 years. I don't agree. They just added a 6th felony on him today. And I think what may be different, and this is a lesson to all you guys out there. We keep talking about it. Us older guys that were unfortunately dumb enough to be criminals, when we were doing our thing, you were never going to do anything near a camera, on camera, at all, right? Now everything is on camera. Everything. Wes Watson, his own content is going to be used against him in court. Posting his bloody shoes the day after the incident in the gym. talking about he's that guy the day after, giving out the address to locations and saying pull up. Luckily, after this thing with Megan, he didn't post anything. I think he talked to his attorneys, and I think his attorneys told him, go back to your house and let them come and arrest you. And I know personally, I've been on the run twice. I know guys that have been on the run. You go on the run, all you do is commit crimes. You can't go get a job. Can't go rent a pad. Can't do nothing in your name. So I guess that's the only smart thing I could say he did. But I don't see Wes Watson ever getting out of jail. This guy supposedly touched millions. Less than 10 years out of prison. Was able to touch millions. What a damn shame. That's my video for the day, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.